New at noon, singer Trey Songz was arraigned in Manhattan federal court on 6 charges, including assault in 2 separate incidents.
R&B singer Trey Songz is accused of attacking a woman during the NBA All-Star Weekend here in Los Angeles.
Trey, I'd like an apology. I want you to get help. And although I'm not your first victim, I'd like to be your last.
For over a decade, Trey Songz was one of the leading voices of modern R&B, with chart-topping singles, platinum albums, and collaborations with some of the biggest names in music. He built a career that transformed him from a young singer in Virginia to an international superstar. His music often revolved around romance, confidence, and nightlife, earning him a loyal fan base and a reputation as one of R&B's most recognizable performers. But as the years went on, the conversation surrounding Trey Songz began to change. Instead of focusing on his music, headlines increasingly centered on allegations, lawsuits, police investigations, and public controversies.
I had to go to the hospital because he hit me so hard that I had a concussion.
Guerra says the next day she had dark bruises on her body, face, and neck. Last week, she got a restraining order against Songz.
Trey Songz, you picked on the wrong woman this time.
Bloom says Songz has a history of allegations dating back at least a decade of verbally and physically assaulting others.
Several women have came forward with accusations ranging from minor misconduct to full-on sexual assault.
You said no?
Yeah, more than once.
Why did you say no?
Because I wasn't in the right mind. I had been drinking and eating, and it wasn't a professional environment. It was not a place where I'm like, I'm in the right mind to decide if this works with my brand, if I like the artist. I don't know nothing about the artist, that it's also in the song.
Did you say no to the producer or to Trey?
I said first no to the producer, then said no to the assistant, and then said no to Trey, and then said it again after I, came out the closet.
While some matters resulted in civil lawsuits, others led to police investigations that ended without criminal charges.
Prosecutors in Kansas City have decided not to charge R&B singer Trey Songz for an altercation with police at Arrowhead Stadium. Police say Songz punched an officer during the AFC Championship game in January. It was caught on tape. According to police, the officer was trying to remove him after complaints he wasn't following COVID-19 protocols. Prosecutors say there was insufficient evidence to charge Songz.
Trey Songz has repeatedly denied many of the allegations made against him publicly. This story is about the disturbing allegations of Trey Songz. Born Tremaine Aldine Neverson on November 28, 1984, in Petersburg, Virginia, Trey Songz discovered music at a young age. Unlike many artists who spent years pursuing a record career from childhood, Trey has said he initially viewed singing as a hobby rather than a profession. Encouraged by family and friends, he entered local talent competitions, eventually attracting industry attention. That attention led to a recording contract with Atlantic Records while he was still a teenager. In 2005, he released his debut album, I Gotta Make It. Although it wasn't an immediate commercial success, it introduced audiences to his smooth voice and emotional songwriting. His breakthrough came over the next several years. Albums such as Trey Day, Ready, and Passion, Pain, and Pleasure produced hit records, including Can't Help But Wait, Say Ah, Neighbors Know My Name, and Bottoms Up. By the early 2010s, Trey Songz had already become one of R&B's biggest stars. He earned Grammy nominations, toured internationally, collaborated with artists including Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Chris Brown, and established himself as one of the most commercially successful performers. However, as musical success continued, reports of confrontations and legal disputes also began appearing in the headlines for the R&B star. Before the more serious allegations emerged, Trey Songz was involved in several incidents that drew public attention. Over the years, reports surfaced involving altercations at concerts, disputes with venue staff, and legal issues connected to performances. Some incidents resulted in misdemeanor charges or lawsuits, while others were resolved without significant legal consequences. Although these events did not directly alter his public image at the time, they established a pattern of negative publicity that would increasingly appear in the media coverage of his career. For years, however, the music remained the primary focus, while Songz would ignore all the noise, but that would change in 2017. In January of 2017, actress and singer Keke Palmer publicly criticized Trey Songz after appearing briefly in the music video for his song Pick Up the Phone. Palmer stated that she had attended a party where Songz allegedly recorded footage of her despite her expressing that she did not want to be included in the video. She described the experience as involving sexual intimidation and said she felt pressured by the situation. The incident quickly gained attention online.
They start playing a song that I happen to be in. They start saying like they want me to be in it. One person asks me, I say no. Another person asks me, I'm like, no. People keep asking me. Now, mind you, they've been giving food, they've been giving drinks, and I'm just starting to feel like, yo, I'm being like cornered, like, and I'm not in a professional situation. Like, I came here for a party, but I'm being pressured to do business, and I'm not in the right mind. I'm under the influence, and I don't feel like it's fair that I'm having to deal with this right now.
Trey Songz publicly denied Palmer's side of events, and the matter did not result in criminal charges or any civil lawsuit between the two. But the controversy still sparked discussions about consent, personal boundaries, and the power dynamics that can exist within the entertainment industry. While opinions varied, the incident marked one of the first times Trey Songz would face public criticism unrelated to his music from another celebrity. Beginning in 2018, Trey Songz became the subject of multiple publicly reported allegations made by different women. One of the earliest involved, Andrea Bura. Bura alleged that Trey Songz assaulted her during an NBA All-Star Weekend party in Los Angeles, claiming he struck and choked her after an argument. The allegations resulted in a police investigation, and Songz was arrested in connection with the case. However, prosecutors later declined to pursue criminal charges after reviewing the available evidence. Bura then filed a civil lawsuit seeking damages. Years later, that lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, bringing that civil case to an end. Trey Songz denied any wrongdoing. The dismissal of a civil lawsuit does not establish guilt or innocence regarding the underlying allegations. Around the same time period, other women publicly accused Trey Songz of sexual misconduct. Former college basketball player Dylan Gonzalez publicly alleged that Songz had sexually assaulted her in Las Vegas years earlier. Trey Songz, through his legal team, denied the accusation. A separate woman, identified publicly only as Jane Doe, filed a civil lawsuit alleging that Songz used his power to take advantage of her sexually after a party in California in 2016. That lawsuit was dismissed because it was filed after the statute of limitations had expired. The dismissal was procedural and did not determine whether the allegations themselves were true or false. Later litigation related to the matter followed in civil court. Additional civil allegations involving other women were also reported in the media. Some cases remained civil matters. Some ended through settlement, while others concluded without criminal prosecution. Throughout these developments, Trey Songz consistently denied the many allegations of sexual assault and maintained that the claims against him were false. Despite multiple investigations over the years, Trey Songz has not been convicted of crimes relating to these allegations. When legal proceedings do not end in criminal convictions, repeated allegations can still influence a person's reputation. As more accusations became public, media coverage increasingly focused on the allegations rather than Trey Songz' music. The debate reflected a broader cultural conversation taking place across the entertainment industry during the height of the Me Too era. Questions surrounding accountability, evidence, public concern, public opinion, and the role of social media became central to discussions involving numerous public figures. Trey Songz became one of several entertainers whose public image shifted dramatically as those conversations unfolded. Although Trey Songz has continued releasing music and performing, there's a possibility that the controversies altered the trajectory of his career. His interviews became less frequent, coverage increasingly focused on lawsuits and investigations rather than album releases. Some fans distanced themselves from his music, while others continued supporting him. Unlike artists whose careers ended immediately following major controversies, Trey Songz remained active professionally, but the public conversation surrounding him changed significantly. His legacy became increasingly tied not only to his musical achievements, but also to the controversies that followed him. Trey Songz' career shows how public success and public scrutiny can exist side by side. His rise from Petersburg, Virginia, to becoming one of R&B's biggest stars ever remains an undeniable part of modern music history. At the same time, multiple women publicly accused him of serious misconduct over the years, resulting in lawsuits and settlements inside the courtroom. Many of those matters concluded without criminal convictions. Some civil claims were dismissed or eventually settled, and Trey Songz has repeatedly denied allegations of sexual assault and other wrongdoing, but his controversies have reshaped how many people view his career today. Perhaps the greatest lesson is that fame can amplify both achievement and controversy. The same spotlight that elevates an artist to global recognition can also illuminate every accusation, every lawsuit, and every headline. In the court of public opinion, those stories often become part of a legacy, regardless of how the legal system resolves them. Only time will tell how Trey Songz' place in music history is ultimately remembered, but his story has already become more than one of music. It has become a case study in the complex intersection of high-level celebrity and criminal justice. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, I'm John Barrett, and I'll see you later.